I recently bought this Bachmann lot off of Facebook Marketplace, and if you've followed me for a while, you probably know I have a very little of a history with the Bachmann line. I mean, this is only the second time in my life I've purchased anything from it, the first being the Circle set that included Thomas, Annie, and Clarabelle. So a lot of this is new to me, and I wanted to take some time to look at what I got from here. In particular, the engines, it's Gordon, James, Percy, and Toby that I got, but I really want to focus on Gordon. I want to talk about him and give my thoughts on this line overall. Now, when I've done Thomas Wooden Railway videos, it's very easy to look up information for that. There's a whole wiki for it that's taken really good care of. And there's just not as much for Bachmann, and I just don't know the history that well, so if I get anything wrong, I apologize in advance. But from what I've found, the line started in 2002, Thomas, Percy, and James being the first characters, and then in 2005, 3 years later, Gordon and Henry were the first two new characters introduced after that. And again, from what I can tell, 20 years later, there's nothing really besides the packaging that's changed. We have the same Gordon, the same face, basically the same everything, which is very interesting. You look at, going to Thomas Wooden Railway, and 2002, that's also when they redid the line. So coming off about 10 years of what the characters generally were, they had that line for about 10 more years. And then they updated it a little bit with the move to Mattel making it. And of course, it's kind of gone downhill ever since then. But we've had multiple changes since then. But with this Gordon, just looking at Gordon compared to the other characters we have here, I mean, Gordon himself is almost as big as the entirety of James. His tender's about as big as Percy and Toby. And I find that so interesting. With just how much bigger Gordon is here, I look at, again, Wooden Railway. I felt like Gordon, they finally kind of got it right in 2022, and just comparing him to James, he is bigger, but no matter what version we got, Gordon was bigger, but he wasn't as big as he could have been. Like, I think as a kid, I never truly understood just how big Gordon was, because using Wooden Railway, he wasn't that much bigger than James and Edward, when in reality he was. So I do enjoy seeing that here for Bachmann. Now, the thing with Bachmann too, it's, not that children can't have this. I can tell the person I purchased these from, probably had these as a kid. I don't think like a little kid, but probably a little bit older. I don't know. I can't even imagine what age, to be honest, but definitely a childhood toy. And I mean, mainly because of the price with these, it's hard to imagine them as childhood toys. And I'll be honest, for myself, I did have other Thomas toys as a kid. I had Ertl, I had Take Along, Take and Play, some Tommy stuff. But beyond that, like, it was mostly Wooden Railway. And as now that I'm an adult and I continue to collect, I choose to just go with Wooden Railway because it is a lot cheaper. I had a lot of this stuff as a kid, and I'm not into Thomas or trains that much where I really want to go ahead and invest in a line like Bachmann. As nice as Bachmann is, like, now that I have a lot of these in my possession, like, I see the draw to Bachmann, and I absolutely love it. I can see how it gets addicting. My good friend Tank Engine Thomas, I remember it was close to 2 years ago now when I purchased that Circle set with Thomas, Annie, and Clarabelle. I was very much on the fence on it, and I finally decided to do it because it was a good price, and my friend Wooden Railway only was selling it. But, he was like, you got to buy more now. You got to buy more now. And I've really been able to hold off for close to 2 years now. And if it wasn't for this being like a nice Facebook Marketplace deal, I wouldn't have done it. But there's just so much that I think is positive here with the Bachmann line. Like, talking about Gordon especially, I mean, it's hard to really, like, when I look at the Wooden Railway line, I've done so many reviews on it over the years, and whenever I talk about an engine, there's always, I give it a 1 to 10 scale, and it's hard for me to do that here. I mean, from what I understand, this is the same Gordon that's been around from day one, from in 2005 to today in 2025. Like, if you went out and bought this, other than the packaging being the different, you're getting the same Gordon, from what I understand. I could be wrong, but from what I understand. And the thing is, what's there to really improve on here? I think anything you would improve on is like probably a complaint you would have of the whole Bachmann line. And I don't know Thomas that well to be like, it's not an exact version of what Gordon should be, right? But like, generally, it does a really good job here. Like, I can see, especially if you're into model railroading, which I really haven't been, but like these, I understand the draw to it. Now, as I said, I did buy these off Facebook Market. This came from someone's collection. So like James in particular is not in the best shape, but Gordon's in pretty good shape. And as I look at Gordon, like, it's just such a beautiful model. I love the face. I think like looking at the wooden railway line, it's been a hit or miss when it comes to Gordon's face, but I really enjoy the face here. I think especially like this one's dated 2005. This is what I would imagine Gordon's face to be like about at that time. And by imagine, I mean that's really what it was. We were just getting ready to make that transition over into CGI. So this was the face generally that you would get, you know, changes a little bit season to season, but the tender itself, I think a tender is pretty simple to make, and I think it gets the job done. Like I said, I like that Gordon overall is significantly bigger than James. And I think you can really see it in the tenders just comparing that as well. But I can't say enough good things about this. I'm currently in the process of getting ready to move again. And where I will be moving next, and especially after that, I imagine I will have more room for my trains than I've ever had before. And, you know, now I've got Thomas, Percy, James, and Toby. I'd really like to do something with it. I don't have the express coaches. I think it'd be fun to do a video, you know, maybe not quite a remake, but even if it's just a scene, that's something I imagine myself doing with these. But I just really want to take the time on here, talk about the line as a whole, but especially talk about Gordon. Like, I can't say enough good things about this model. I can see why my good friend Tank Engine Thomas is just pushing me to get more and more of these. And I'm sure when he sees just how many I got here, he will really be pushing me at that point. But I just wanted to take my time to talk about this for a little bit. To finish things off, I can't say enough good things about the Bachmann line, and especially Gordon here. I think they really nailed his presentation here. I think there's a reason he stayed the same for 20 years now, because there's not much to improve. He's just a really good model here. But I want to ask you guys, please, in the comments section below, like, give me your thoughts. Like, should I try doing something with this line? Should I try, maybe not a full episode, because I don't think I have enough for that, but maybe trying to remake a scene or something, or just, you know, like Thomas and Gordon, something like that. I don't know, but just tell me what you think in the comments section below. But thank you all for taking the time to watch. Subscribe if you have not done so already. This is Percy number 6. Have a great day.